The name of this chapter is quadratic equation. I have also written the definition of quadratic equation as you are able to visualize. I have already explained the term equation, and in the previous chapter I have discussed about the linear equation. Now in this chapter, before equation the word quadratic is written. Now I am going to define the quadratic equation as the definition is already written here. An equation is said to be quadratic if the highest power of the variable, it is also known as degree, is equals to 2. क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन हम लोग कहेंगे उसको दिस इक्वेशन में हाईएस्ट पावर ऑफ वेरिएबल, जो वेरिएबल का हाईएस्ट पावर है जिसका दूसरा नाम डिग्री है, उसका वैल्यू कितना होना चाहिए, 2 होना चाहिए. तो क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन मीन्स दोज इक्वेशन इन विच द हाईएस्ट पावर ऑफ वेरिएबल इज इक्वल्स टू 2. We have to study about the different forms of this quadratic equation, methods of solution, about the discriminant, graph, and also we have to solve some word problems. So now I'm going to tell you about the first introduction of this quadratic equation, and through this only you are able to solve exercise 1.1 as well as 1.2. First I am going to tell you the general expression of this quadratic equation. General expression of this quadratic equation, general expression. If we talk about the general expression, then ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. This is the general expression of the quadratic equation. General expression means any equation that can be expressed in only this format is considered to be quadratic in nature. Here we can see the variable is x and the highest power of the variable is equals to 2, where a, b and c are real numbers. A, B and C are real numbers, and x is the variable and the highest power of the variable is equals to 2. So any equation that can be expressed in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0 is considered to be quadratic, where a, b and c are real numbers, and one condition is also a is not equals to 0. a का वैल्यू 0 के बराबर नहीं होना चाहिए, a का वैल्यू 0 के बराबर नहीं होना. This is the most important condition that is responsible for the equation to becomes quadratic. Now regarding this chapter, we have to first basic introduction that we have to identify the given, for solving the problems. First we have to identify the given equation is quadratic or not. First is to identify. किसी भी फॉर्म का इक्वेशन दिया हुआ होगा, हमको पहचानना है कि जो इक्वेशन दिया हुआ है वो क्वाड्रेटिक है या नहीं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस सम एग्जाम्पल. फॉर एग्जाम्पल x माइनस 2 स्क्वायर plus 1 is equal to 2x plus 3. So we have to identify the given equation is quadratic or not. For this we have to simplify, or we have to arrange the given equation in its general form. It is ax square plus bx plus c के फॉर्म में अरेंज करना होगा. तो we have to simplify the given equation as x square plus 4 minus 4x plus 1 is equal to 2x plus 3. This can be expressed by a minus b का whole square. Now x square minus 6x plus 2 is equals to 0. So this is, now compare this equation with ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. So after visualizing these two equations, we can say that this equation is quadratic equation, because it can be represented as ax square plus bx plus c. Similarly, if it is given x into 2x plus 3 equal to x square plus 1, we have to identify the given equation is quadratic or not. So for this also we have to simplify the given equation. It means it can be written as 2x square plus 3x is equal to x square plus 1, or we can simplify it as x square plus 3x minus 1 equals to 0. So this is also quadratic in nature. So many equations are given. Our first motive is to identify the given equation is quadratic or not, and for this we have to we have to simplify by using the basic formulas. For example, a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, a plus b whole cube, a minus b whole cube, or etc. So if the equation can be written in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0, then the equation can be considered to be as quadratic. Now in the first chapter onwards, in the first chapter only we have to identify the given equation is quadratic or not. or in some question also it is given that language is given and you have to convert the given language in the form of quadratic equation. I am telling you a simple language question. It is given that the product of two consecutive positive integer is 306. It is given the product of two consecutive positive integer. Now we have to convert the given statement in the form of quadratic. So for this you have already studied the product of two consecutive positive integer. So let first positive integer is equals to x, second positive integer or another positive it is x plus 1. Now according to question, x into x plus 1 is equal to 306. We can solve it as x square plus x minus 306 is equals to 0. So this is the it is written in the form of ax square plus bx plus 6 is equals to 0, and it satisfies the condition of quadratic equation. So this statement is also in the form of quadratic equation. So in the first chapter, that is 3.1, you have to identify the given equation is quadratic or not, or some word problems are also given. Here you have not to solve the word problem, find the value of x, only you have to convert the given situation into the form of quadratic. Now regarding the solution, so many methods are there regarding the solution of this quadratic equation. I am going to explain here the first method that we have studied in standard 9 regarding the solution of quadratic equation. So many methods are there. First method that we have already studied, it is by using factorization method. First is by using factorization method we can solve the quadratic equation by using factorization method, or in the factorization also in most cases we have to use middle term expansion. We have to use middle term expansion. So by using middle term expansion you can also solve exercise 3.2 and exercise 3.1. you have to solve in a here we have to identify the quadratic equation, and by using middle term equation we can find out the value of x in exercise 3.2. Middle term expansion I am going to tell you. For example, x square plus 3x minus 1, or so many equations are there. We can use middle term expansion. Equations in given equations is given x square plus 3x minus 1. Let us consider 3x minus 1 is equals to 0. We can solve the equation here by using so many techniques, but we have to use only middle term expansion. So it is your homework to complete exercise 3.1 and 3.2 from NCERT or from R.S. Agarwal. Both book we have to follow in your maths GW and HW copy. So this is all for the day. In the next video I am going to tell you about the discriminant method, about the nature of root, graph of quadratic equation, and some word problems that we have to solve.